I don't believe a single word the Israelis say. If I asked the Israelis what's the weather, whatever they would say, I would still look out the window to check. It's not a joke.
When it comes to Israel's actions in Palestine, many of us have heard the mainstream narrative: Israel is merely defending itself against constant threats. But how much of this narrative is true? How much of it is simply a fabrication to cover up the real story? Norman Finkelstein, a well-known American political scientist and activist, has accurate words for the way Israel operates, and especially for the way it manipulates the truth. According to Finkelstein, every Israeli is a liar. These are strong words, but Finkelstein is not the only one calling out Israel. His criticism points to something much deeper: a culture of dishonesty that runs through Israeli society. Finkelstein argues that Israel's government and military have created a system that not only misrepresents the facts, but also shapes the beliefs of its people. For Finkelstein, the key to understanding this lies in Israel's military structure.
You have to remember, every Israeli serves in the army, with marginal exceptions. So every Israeli feels this sense of identity with the army, with the cause, and what attends that is they're very free with the lying.
Nearly every Israeli citizen is required to serve in the military. This creates a deeply ingrained sense of identity with the army and the actions it takes. According to Finkelstein, this widespread military service leads to a situation where all Israelis, whether they realize it or not, are complicit in the falsehoods Israel spreads. The military is not just a defense force. It is an institution that defines Israeli identity and justifies the country's actions, even when those actions are deeply controversial. So, what does this mean for the story we've been told about Israel? Finkelstein argues that Israel's repeated claims of self-defense are simply part of a larger narrative designed to cover up its occupation of Palestinian land. Israel often portrays itself as the victim, constantly under attack from Hamas and other militant groups. But according to Finkelstein, this portrayal ignores the larger reality on the ground. Israel has been occupying Palestinian land for decades, and its military has regularly engaged in actions that result in the deaths of innocent civilians. Finkelstein's criticism goes beyond just the government's actions. He argues that the Israeli people, by and large, support these actions, often without question. The state has done such a good job of shaping public opinion that many Israelis believe they are simply doing what is necessary to survive. The lies told by the government are not just accepted, they are internalized by the people. But why is this important? Why should we care about this critique? It matters because the global community is constantly being fed this narrative of Israel as a victim and Palestinians as the aggressors. The world has been told over and over again that Israel is simply protecting itself. But as Finkelstein points out, when you take a step back and look at the facts, the situation becomes much clearer. Israel's actions are not those of a victim, but of an aggressor. The occupation of Palestine, the building of settlements on occupied land, the military strikes against Gaza, these are not defensive actions. These are acts of aggression. And yet, Israel continues to paint itself as the hero in this story. With the support of powerful allies, including the United States, Israel has been able to avoid accountability for its actions. It has been able to continue spreading lies about its intentions, even as it commits atrocities on the ground. Finkelstein's point is simple. We cannot keep buying into the lies. Israel has managed to deceive not only its own citizens, but the rest of the world. By controlling the narrative, it has been able to justify its occupation and mistreatment of Palestinians. But it's time for the truth to come out. The lies that Israel tells are not just about self-defense. They are about covering up a violent occupation and a history of oppression. If we continue to believe these lies, We are complicit in the suffering of the Palestinian people. The world needs to wake up and start questioning the narrative that has been fed to us. It's time to stop supporting a state that has consistently violated international law and human rights. It's time to stop accepting Israel's lies and demand the truth. Finkelstein's words are a wake-up call for the world. We must stop believing the lies that Israel tells and start standing up for justice. The people of Palestine have been oppressed for far too long, and the time for change is now. It's time to hold Israel accountable for its actions and demand an end to the lies that have fueled this conflict for decades.